In this video, I will share why doing anything in your own power is dangerous. Okay, let's get right at it. 4 mistakes that you can make if you're wise in your own eyes. Listen, if you're wise in your own eyes, and I've done all of these things, so I'm speaking from experience. Here's the number 1 point. You're going to miss out on the amplification of community. Listen, it is subtle. If you're wise in your own eyes, people will start to distance themselves from you. They will, unless they are people who are just codependent on you, right? So if you're wise in your own eyes, start looking around. Start being aware. Are people distancing themselves from you? And why are they doing that? Now, sometimes they can distance themselves from you because you're speaking truth into them. That's fine. But in my world, if it's God's truth, then that's good. That's what they need to hear. If it's my truth, if I'm trying to put my stuff on someone, that's not good. So if you're wise, and I'm not, it's good to be wise if you have wisdom, make sure that, again, you are not just putting that on people. Make sure people are asking for your wisdom before you give it. You want to be slow to speak and quick to listen. That's what you want to do. So you don't want to miss out on the amplification of community. You want to be seeking community. You want to be a part of a community. You want to learn what it takes to be an amazing community member, to serve others in a community setting. So important. All right, point number 2. Mistake number 2 that you can make if you're wise in your own eyes. You don't have anyone watching your back. Okay, if you are wise in your own eyes, if you're like, yep, I got this, I'm good, I don't need anybody. If I have to get something done, I will do it myself. Okay, all of these are cautionary tales. You want people watching your back. I believe we are created for community. We are created to be in community with others. And we are created to be for each other, not judging each other, and in harmony with one another. So by being wise in your own eyes, a mistake that you're making is you don't have anyone watching your back. You don't have anyone that you can link up with in tough times and celebrate with in good times. So again, just this wisdom of not being wise in your own eyes is so, so important. All right, point number 3, mistake number 3 that you can make if you're wise in your own eyes is you're not cultivating collaborative breakthroughs. Hey, let me tell you, John Maxwell talks about this. Nothing great in this world has ever happened with one. There has always been a team of people around any great accomplishment in the world. Even if one person seems to get credit, you talk to that person or you take a closer look behind, and there's always other people around that person. So how do you think that they got to where they had this amazing breakthrough in life, where they're serving more people, they're doing wonderful things that we all admire? It's because they understood the power of not being wise in their own eyes. They let others speak about, their talents and skills and those sorts of things. They weren't a self-promoter. They let others speak about them, and they didn't take credit even then. In my world, everything goes to God. God is where all the credit goes. I'm nothing without God. And I'm telling you, when you live that way, it's freeing personally, and it also is enduring, because I believe everybody was created to live life that way. So that's just such an amazing point. So don't make that mistake, because you're gonna miss out on those collaborative breakthroughs. You're gonna miss out on the rich experiences you can have with and through other people in your life. And the 4th mistake that you can make if you're wise in your own eyes is you slip into isolation. Okay, you can quickly get into a state of isolation and a life transformed We believe the number one issue people have that they don't realize they have is that they're in isolation. Even though we're more connected than at any time in history, we're also more isolated. So you don't want to slip into isolation, because that's where the enemy wants you. That's where there is nothing good that can come out of isolation. Believe me, there is nothing good. So you don't want to make that mistake. If you see yourself slipping into isolation, where you're not going out at all, you're staying home, you'd rather be alone than by yourself. And I realize some people are introverted. I'm to a great extent inverted too. Introverted. I'm to a great extent introverted too. It's okay, but don't slip into isolation where you are just totally isolating yourself from the rest of the world. I can tell you a little bit about that, because my story from being in the corporate world was really all about that. I was wise in my own eyes, because any of you that have been in the corporate world, you know, it's kind of like doggy dog, you know, the cream rises to the top. Take care of yourself. You got to watch your own back. It's all up to you. So much politics and all of those things. So I lived in that world for 20 plus years. And what I learned from my corporate story is it's a lonely existence. I was in isolation. I didn't experience the collaborative breakthroughs. You don't have people watching your back. I was fortunate. I had a couple people that watched my back, and it was because later in my career I was very genuine with a few people that I trusted. So that did end up happening. And I did miss out on the amplification of community, because I was never really in community. It was all forced. It was all based on an org chart and who you need to brush up to and butter up to get to the next step, all of those sorts of things. So just remember this wisdom, and don't make those mistakes. Don't be wise in your own eyes. Take a look at the benefits of not being wise in your own eyes that I've highlighted here. Those 4 amazing benefits, and all of the fulfillment and purpose and joy that you can get out of your life. And I think you're going to choose to not be wise in your own eyes. All right, subscribe with the notification bell to receive regular updates. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button to see more like this. Comment down below. This can be with questions or answers to a question you ask. We will see you next time on the journey from isolation to community, where freedom is the next step beyond.